And we are live. Welcome to the first iteration of this podcast between Red Beer Rants and Fresh Prince CEO. I know who you are, brother. You two can tell them who you are as well.
Yeah, a lot of your audience probably knows who I am. I go by Casey Redbeard on the internet. My real name is Casey Brown, and I'm just a very average guy. By the way, it's very gay to rate men out of 10. So in the chat, if you want to let us know that you're gay, there's no problem. We don't hate, we don't have any issue against the gays. But if you want us to let you know really quickly that you're gay, start rating me out of 10. But overall, I'm a pretty average, normal looking guy who dates absolutely gorgeous, stunning, beautiful women. I get very scientific and nerdy about this. I have a YouTube channel. It's obviously Redbeard Rants. I think it's tagged in the name of this stream. And we've been good friends for a while. I was friends with Fresh and Fit before Fresh and Fit existed.
We
I feel
gotta
like,
tell them the very beginning, brother, because this was my old roommate Casey Redbeard, and it's funny because I was working at Wix.com, walking my dog, and I'm walking through this avenue called Lincoln Road, and he's like, "Bro, that's a cool dog. I know what you're doing over here." I'm like, "What do you mean what I'm doing? You're picking up girls, aren't you?" I'm like, maybe indirectly, but it's funny that you said that because oh, you're on point." We start talking a little bit, and he said, "Yo, whenever you go, let me know. We'll hang out, we'll chop it up, and then go from there." We hung out a couple times, went out, and he's like, "Bro, I'm moving to this spot. I need a roommate. Like, do you want to become my roommate?" He's like, and I'm like, "Yo, like, why not?" So I actually was living in the hood about a property back then with my dog Hero, and I said, "You know what? I can rent it out, move in with Casey, make some money, and as well be with a cool marketing partner that knows the game as well." So we linked up. I became his roommate. He would see from time to time how I would move have my game, and vice versa. And he's all about no American girls. I like American girls sometimes, some foreign girls as well, as you guys know. But Casey's the master when it comes to dating and foreign girls, and as well just coaching itself. So shout out to you, bro. Real
yeah,
talk.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, we'll talk more about strategy throughout this. I think a good strategy is paramount to getting good at learning anything, whether it's learning to be good and competent with women or whether you want to learn to play the guitar. And when we were out in Lincoln Road, I had a very amateurish strategy. It used to work kind of well. There's nothing wrong with it, which is you go to a spot where there's a lot of girls and you look around for said beautiful girls and you chase them and you try to flirt with them and you try to talk to
Cold
them out of the
approach,
blue. It's called cold approach. Would you say?
cold approach, right?
Yeah, cool. It's called cold approach pickup. But you had actually had a much better strategy. While I was going around chasing the girls, they were coming to you because you had Hero. And I always said if I was 1/10 as handsome as Hero, if I got 1/10 the female attention that Hero did, it would be over. I could never get anything done. Yeah, it would just
It's
be
better
nonstop.
to attract than chase, if that makes sense. So, speaking of which, we had a debate actually, me and Myron, our first show. We spoke about cold approach versus like obviously Instagram game. And on the show, the after hours, we always talk about where'd you meet your boyfriend or your husband, right? And I kid you not, brother, at least out of 10 times, at least seven, it's Instagram or online dating app. And it's because the world's changing. The old dinosaur ways of dating are no longer accessible. And if you think about it from a logical standpoint, girls are terrified to be approached in person. They don't know who you are. You could be, crazy weird. And as well, bro, if you're not coherent, you're not actually speaking well, you're not actually good looking, they're gonna turn you down instantly. So the topic of today is, do looks really matter? The age-old debate. And Casey, you know very well, looks is a part of things, but not the entire package. Explain to them about looks and what you think so far about looks.
Yeah. Let me just, the thing about, modern dating, it is a lot, social media based. And for that reason, looks is ever more important than usual. Now, neither Walter or myself are the guy to tell you, we're not here to say don't cold approach. If you out, it builds character. It's like lifting weights for the soul, right? For the social skills. It's really good to approach women and it's really good to do this thing called Luke's maxing. That's the new term. So we're not here to tell you don't cold approach women, don't build your confidence. It's kind of a bad ROI, return on investment for your time, but whatever. It's still good. It builds character. We're not here to tell you don't go to the gym, don't get a skincare routine, don't get a hair transplant. You guys, it's finally coming in. It's finally, look at that. Your boy kind of finally got hair. However, and the whole looks debate thing, I feel like guys go a little bit too far with it. Some people, I even had a debate on my separate channel, and I found out that a lot of people, both the host that I was talking to, like on the debate live, and the people from his community, and even some people from my community, thought that attraction worked the same way with men and women, like how men are just, super like everything in terms of like short-term sexual attraction is looks based. People thought it was like that for women as well. And it's not, and I will say this, and I'll let you, add your 2 cents on this, Walter, but I think we're pretty much aligned in this. Looks are, or overall, extremely important. However, the way that looks really manifest themselves in terms of being super, super important in terms of dating is you have to achieve what I call not being gross to touch, aka getting up. Again, it's really gay to rate men, but getting up to at least a 5, maybe 6 point, which means going to the gym. You're not chubby, you're not obese, you don't have some weird scruffy beard or horrible acne, or you're not insanely like, you know what summer teeth are? That's when summer this way and summer this way. So you don't have summer teeth, you don't have anything weird. But once you get to like at least a 5 and a 6, it is paramount if you're going to get any realm of attractive girl in America and pretty much globally, that you at least achieve somewhat of a normal guy that's no longer gross to touch. After that, it still behooves you to get better looking, and looks matter a lot, but it's diminishing returns, and we don't think it's quite as important as other guys make it out to be. It matters more your status, your money, and the overall strategy you implement.
Listen, looks itself is important. We did a whole podcast about dressing well, hygiene, and you'd be surprised, Casey. I don't know about you, but like I see guys out here and their breath stinks. They smell like they've been sweating the whole day. No type of hygiene or deodorant used at all. And if they do, it probably wore off hours ago, but they didn't go back home to shower or change up. As a result, I see, especially here in Miami, when we travel, guys talk to girls. Oh, you know what's funny? By the way, right? I'll be out with a girl, right? Maybe eating dinner or out, having fun, whatever. I'll see a guy that looks at me, right? And then I'm like, okay, he knows who I am. And he will literally go cold push a girl in front of me to press me. And I'm like, bro, it's okay, brother. I don't really care, but props to you. Anyhow, I'm trying to say here that like the looks part of it does come into play with hygiene as well, but it's not the main issue. And if you look at it from the standpoint of like dating 9s and 10s, 9s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, right? They actually have a point where like they date guys that are not like good looking, but they take care of them maybe financially, lifestyle wise. You're like, wait, this guy's ugly. Why is she with him? Well, guess what, guys? Looks is not the main factor. I will say this though, at certain age groups, it does matter. For example, let's say you're 18 years old in college. Girls in college don't really care about like money and finances because they're in college. They maybe live in a dorm. They focus on school, and if the guy looks good, they'll go have some fun. But let's break down, Casey, the age groups, and then as well the ratings from girls. Let's say 6 to maybe like 5 to 7, and then from like 8 to 10, how they operate in that sense.
Yeah, and this is why so many of the black pillar guys, if you don't know what that term is, black pill is basically a term for a community of men that believe looks is basically the only factor. They may acknowledge that status and money comes into it somewhat. And height, for the extent of this argument, we're going to kind of group looks in with height a little bit. It's just kind of easier. They all separate things. Your overall, looks is part of your height. So what the typical black pill or incel guy, they haven't even, achieved even this level of 5. So they're just completely like they're getting rejected because of their looks, because they can't even just do basic things like basic hygiene and not be morbidly obese, right? And then the second thing is they could be noticing women from that certain age group that you just pointed out, Walter. That was a great point. From the typical incel's perspective, he's like, looks is the only thing that matters. And yeah, sure. At some, drunken sorority party with this girl is 2 beers away from collapsing on herself. She's 18, 19, living off of family money. She'll go to a private university like USC or something. Family's got money. And she just wants the hottest, tallest guy in that environment. And like we said, neither Walter or myself are here. Don't get us wrong. Looks matter a lot. But we're just saying for the most part, you got to get up to the point where you're not gross to touch. And just to stick on this topic, we were talking before, certainly when a girl gets to about, 22, 23, especially for the vast majority of women that don't have a trust fund, they're no longer living off their parents. At the end of the day, bro, a chiseled jawline doesn't pay the rent. And when was the last?
Wait. You what? Say it again, Casey? For the audience?
At the end of the day, a chiseled jawline and a defined six-pack don't pay the bills.
I'm telling you, bro.
And when was the last time you saw a beautiful woman in Miami who was dating a broke guy in a long-term committed relationship with a broke guy? Not even Miami, let's just say globally, like even where I live in Brazil. When was the last time I saw a very beautiful, call it 8.5 and above, and a long-term relationship with a guy who is not doing well financially, that can't take care of her? Let me think. It was 0 times.
It's so funny because people will see a girl, maybe like a 6 or 7, with a guy that's pretty much good looking, but not doing well for himself. He might have some ambition. Hopefully, he's working on that to become better. But let's say that doesn't tank out the whole way. He doesn't actually get to that point of success. Guess what's going to happen in that relationship? It's going to last a little bit, but once the bills come into play, life hits her hard. Like, oh wait, we can't go on vacation. Oh wait, I'm on TikTok. I can't go over here for dinner. Wait, my friends are going there. Why can't we go there? Oh babe, I'm working on some stuff, bro. That works for only so long. I'm telling you right now, the beginning of a growth cycle of 18 to like 20, 22, okay, you could wing it a little bit there because she's still not open to the real world yet, and she's not hasn't been sold the bill of goods of what looks are good for now. But when life hits you, literally where you have to pay bills, you got to pay for your rent, your insurance. She's gonna say to herself, "Damn, I'm working my ass off just to live, but this guy I'm with ain't doing shit for me. What I want him." And this is the problem nowadays, right? Girls are independent as hell. So the question is, why do they need you? For some dick, for a good time, or can you actually match their income or even surpass that to get them the lifestyle that they actually want? Because girls like lifestyle, man. And regardless of what you say, listen, I'm not a Tyrone. Casey's not a Chad. By any means possible, we're not. But we've realized in the dating market, it's a game being played here. The game is being played a certain way, so we're gonna adapt to it to make it work for us. And same thing with you guys here. You're not a Drake, you're not a freaking celebrity, but you can maximize your benefits of looks to a certain point and then focus on what really matters. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and going back to you said a lot of good things. There was something I wanted to say, but I forgot. But yeah, going back to like these different demographics of women where looks matter a lot. Going back to again, the typical guy who's putting way way over importance on this whole looks thing. Um, they are also seeing a lot of mid women that get very like they swoon and they go, ooh, they get like weak in the knees and they almost get like aggressive. You very rarely see women being like sexually aggressive. You see this in Las Vegas. I never went to one of these, but my buddy was a actual dancer in the Chippendale show in the Las Vegas Strip. For you guys who don't know that, that's a male striptease show. I was a roommate with a guy who was a certified Giga Chad. He was 6'4" this way and he's like 6'5" this way. He was built like a brick. And, he would show me videos and stuff and you would see girls actually getting like sexually aggressive there at these shows. But it was a lot of moms, the 5s and 6s. And look, will an 8.5 or a 9 get like sexually aggressive, sometimes, but as a side caveat too, at least with myself, and I believe Fresh too, whenever we talk about female psychology or what women respond to or how to attract a woman or what's a good way to get a girl's attention and stand out and keep her, we're talking about bad bitches. Mid chicks don't interest us. I don't have any interest. I would never buy the dating course, how to pick up the mid girl. So at any of my advice or Fresh's advice. And ever since, said 7.5, 8, 8.5 and above woman turned 14, 15, 16, 17. She's like felt pecs. She's seen a chiseled set of abs. It's no longer that much of a novelty to her. And then what some guys do is they get hung up on the few Giga Chads that are so good looking that almost everything becomes irrelevant. So what we were saying about, the pecs and the jawline doesn't pay the rent. Okay. If you are actually looking like you're the doppelganger of Brad Pitt in his prime, okay, maybe. If you're that, 1 out of 10 million guys, I don't know who was the light-skinned black guy with the blue eyes that had the mugshot that went famous.
The criminal that's now out of jail.
Jeremy something was his name, but yeah, okay. Rihanna even hired him as a backup dancer. If you're that guy, okay, yeah, maybe a baddie will put up with you and she'll be one of those girls that then makes a nasty TikTok about you like, I'm with this guy and he's a broke ass loser, this and that.
This guy, right?
Yeah, Jeremy. That's not the best photo of him though. We got to find the original one. Yeah, everyone's seen. If you click images up top, you'll probably get it. Yeah, that was the original one that went viral.
Yeah, so nobody Jeremy Meeks. Nobody here.
Yeah. So if you're Jeremy Meeks or Brad Pitt in his prime, and then the other reason why I think these guys misinterpret the overemphasis on looks is getting a lot of matches on dating apps with girls that half of them will flake on them, half of them are bots, a lot of them don't look like how they really look in real life, and a lot of them won't be able to retain them because, again, I have never met a 7.5 or an 8 in any modern times. Maybe I'm an old man, I'm 36, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, but in modern times, what?
You what? 36, but you're old.
Yeah, I'm old. Dude, I'm Casey Redbeard. I'm Casey Whitebeard now. It's coming in.
That's what you are.
But yeah. And then you want to say that? Well, I have something else we were talking about too, that kind of a point system for attraction. But yeah.
Let's help the guys that are struggling right now to understand their looks max and how to actually become a part of the culture of getting laid. Because a lot of guys are not getting laid nowadays, they're virgins, and they're like, wait, why not me? And they don't know how to properly adjust to the marketplace or even play the game correctly. So how would somebody start from your point of view, Casey? Because I know what I need to do as well, but how would they start to understand what to do at that point?
Oh gosh, yeah, where to even begin? So, I have a community. It's closed right now. You can't even buy it. It's called Modern Dating Mastery. But the things that we teach there is just how much modern dating has changed. And this is the problem, right? So when it comes to being confident around women, first of all, that's getting harder and harder to do for many reasons. Feminism making women more masculine. Feminism making women have higher standards. Social media is making women have much higher standards. But I think a lot of guys will eventually, just through being around women, develop some type of natural confidence on how to relate to women. It's kind of like rabbits in a cage. If you put a male rabbit and a female rabbit in the cage, they're going to figure it out. No one has to teach them what to do. But when it comes to online and social media, that's not in your DNA. Right. The way you might look at a woman and, hold eye contact, you may need to watch a video or a course or get help on that at some point. But at some point that's innate within you. Like, how to stare through a girl and not be reactive to her if she gets a little bit, what's the word? Kind of like testy, snippy with you. But the problem is no guys really know how to take good photos. They don't know how to cultivate a social media. They don't understand the importance of volume. They'll be like, I DM'd 4 girls and none of them responded. So DMing girls doesn't work with their shitty profile, not doing enough volume.
Yeah, 100 with a good profile.
Yeah.
Then talk.
It's, the analogy I make for this, and we can talk about this a lot, is it's kind of like if you wanted to get a job and you were going to use LinkedIn as your source for getting a job. And I believe this is one of the best strategies. I believe this is the best strategy to succeed in modern dating. And Fresh, you pretty much taught me this. I pretty much took this from living with you, which is number one, you have to build what I call the high status profile. And actually, I'll share my screen. I'll show an example of this right now. I'm not going to show any of my actual Instagrams because then weirdos try to track down the girls that I'm dating and tell them that I'm
here, by the way, free value right now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this video is going to play back. I'm going to mute it as well because it might play some sound. But anyway, I'm going to mute this. But again, I understand that you're watching this and the screen is playing choppy, but you don't need to see the detail of it anyway. But it's me giving a speech to a room full of, I guess there's about 250 people in the audience, and that's me on stage. And I'll go through the other photos, but even just focusing on this 15-second reel. Well, let me just continue. We have this photo here, and you notice that when I have girls in the photos, I'm intentionally positioned away from them. So this guy's, kind of with this girl is with him, and all the guys are, you look like a loser, like third wheel. No, I look like a fucking boss. Here I am at dinner with a group full of people. But again, I'm not directly positioning myself next to any women. Yeah, nice restaurants. I'll go through these quickly. Well-dressed, look like I have a cool group of friends. This is, the obligatory physique shot. Remember, I said you have to get to at least a point where your body is not like gross to touch. You have some grooming. Like I said, if you got a comically toucan beak nose, get the nose fixed, get a rhinoplasty. If you're going bald, get a hair transplant like I did. What else can you do? Get a skincare routine, all this other stuff. Okay, cool. We're kind of, dress really well. I think you guys kind of get the point. And to bring it all home, and I'll just show, maybe let me go on. Yeah, I'll show this photo again.
You're showing social proof on a different level that most guys don't ever take time to put into their Instagram or social media. It's a tool, guys. Social media is a tool. And when you use it correctly, you get results for business and for dating. I'll tell you right now, guys, literally, I've been roasted for being pug face, roasted for being not a good looking guy. And I don't care because literally My life is amazing. But understanding my weaknesses, I can work towards my strengths, which is having a good lifestyle and as well having the vibe that girls like. And the vibe is nothing more than you having the lifestyle that they want, you're not being weirdo about it. Which means when you take her on a date, before you go on a date, she's gonna look at your Instagram, look at what you do for a living, who you are. They may even Google you to see what comes up. Of course, we got a bad rep, but it doesn't matter because lifestyle surpasses that. Anyhow, so your footprint in digital world will have an impact on what they say or feel about you before the day even starts. Which means,
Yeah.
Casey, showing you guys from the very beginning, dating apps, Instagram, that is the foundation of how they will see you nowadays. Because in person, let's be real here. Most of you guys want to approach girls at all. It is what it is. Let's be real here. Niggas don't want to get rejected. I get it, bro. It's like you want to get rejected. Nobody wants that. So we found the best approaches online with the best profile possible to get a result. And listen, this has been happening for at least a couple of years now. We talked about this for our course before on the podcast as well, and we've seen it in real time more so than ever. Guys, look at the after hours. I asked the last show, how'd you meet your boyfriend on Instagram? And you know what he did? He responded to one of her story posts, and that was it. But you know what she did? That she didn't say on camera, that is very evident. She looked at his page. If he had bathroom selfies, if he had weird photos of just like food and trees and grass, if he had like weird photos where like the images are distorted, what would she think? She'd be like, yo, this guy's a freaking bot. I'm responding to this guy. But his profile was up to par and he had a good following. We're just saying, you know what? I'm responding to his comment on my story. And that is the foundation of how most relationships nowadays are founded and started. Because, guys, literally speaking, because of the bear bug, people have been inside for quite a while. And interactions with people on the outside, it's not the same as it used to be before. And if you realize club culture, all the things we used to do before have waned down in importance and volume. So people are looking online for ways to meet people nowadays. And listen, I think, in case he agrees with me, the best dating app in the world, hands down, is what?
Instagram.
Instagram. Bro, I can't tell you the value you can have on Instagram with the right photos, right pictures. And look, listen, Casey's a master at this. I've mastered it too as well. But the whole photo arc of lifestyle, you got it, brother. Telling you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And what Walter was saying about cold approach, and again, neither of us is going to tell you like it's bad to cold approach women. And again, just going outside of your house only for the purpose of meeting women, unless you know some street or some area, it's generally a bad use of your time. But I love it. I'm an old RSD guy. Owen Cook, RSD Tyler's my good friend. But it's like he was saying, when you approach the girl, look, if you could be super smooth and confident and you're just that guy, do it. But a lot of you guys are going to be not in the most social mood. You need to warm up a lot. And she knows nothing about you, but your social media can flex for you. So going back to what I was saying here, I can't, cold approach a girl and say, hey, random girl on the street. You don't know me, but just so you know, I'm confident and I could hold the attention of a whole room and I'm not nervous to give a public speech. And I've obviously acquired some type of amazing wisdom that would be worth sharing. And just the fact that I would speak at a marketing conference probably implies that I've got, a little bit of spare change in my bank account and people listen to me. And I walk into a room and I talk and people listen. Oh, and by the way, wait, don't leave. Random girl that I just approached. I also want you to know that I have dinner at nice restaurants and there's beautiful girls and well-dressed, cool-looking guys in my social circle as well. And let me take my shirt off real quick and show you my physique real quick. No, you can't do that. That would be really, really weird. But you put together this amazing resume, this amazing Instagram, and it does the flexing for you.
Listen, I'll tell you this. A lot of times people come into the space, right? And they're like, you know what? I got game. I get girls. Understandable. That may be you. But a lot of guys don't have game at all. And they don't understand how things work and they want to learn. So my thing is, if you're not getting results right now, ask yourself the question, why is that? Is it because it could be your hygiene, it could be your photos? And look, less is more. I would say you don't need a lot of photos. You just need to have impactful things that show that you are the guy that she may want to be with. And look, Casey just mentioned it. He's speaking on stage. You don't go to a girl and say, yeah, well, I'm a good speaker. I talk to those people and I'm that guy. No, you don't say that. That's weird. That's like you trying to impress the girl with words. No, what you do is You literally show and have her find out by discovery. So you know what I do on dates is Casey knows as well. It's very simple. I already set it up so my strategy is in play from the very beginning. The moment I meet a girl, it's all genuine connection, of course, but like I have a plan as a guy. I know where I'm taking her, what she's gonna see on my profile, where we're going to end of the night, and how it should end. If it doesn't end that way, cool. But I plan it to work that way. And as a result, listen, Instagram itself is my forte. I would say for example, meeting a girl at the very front, and all is she sees your profile, she says yes or no on a date. But before even that date happens, you're gonna plan a date out from A to Z. And during that date, it's simple. You ask questions because remember, whoever asks questions is the one in control, right? And you don't talk about yourself. Ask questions about her, and you'd be surprised. She says all the time, it's about the vibe. You know what the vibe really is? Like, you're not a weirdo. You're cool and calm and collected. If you're trying to be that guy, boastful, trying to cock yourself up, and it's like you're doing too much. Like, Shorty has 10, 20 guys trying to do it to her already. Stand out, have a good time with her, ask questions, and of course, escalate sexually when the time needs to be. But this is why it's important, guys. To even get to this point, the foundation is having a profile online, at least having one online that's good. And if you're a more in-person guy, cool. Go out there, do your cold approach, talk to girls, get rejected a couple times, of course, because it's a numbers game. But understand the dating market today has changed, and the best way to get girls online, I would think, is through Instagram. So
Yeah, Instagram, you can post video too, right? Where I think the dating apps you can kind of start posting some video. I think Hinge and Bumble let you do some. But the main thing is, story highlights. I don't want to get into this now, but something else I talk about, I call it charming content, or sometimes funny charming content. But if a girl just looks at your Instagram page and it's just a bunch of flat 2D photos of you doing all this high value stuff like we talked about, maybe there's some travel in there. Like I said, you're well dressed, you're at the best rooftop lounges, best restaurants in the city, cool social circle, fun events. It could be on yachts, boats, jet skis, whatever it is. That's amazing. That's cool. But you guys ever watch those like TikTok skits? I'm not going to try to act one out or anything. Anybody who follows me on my YouTube knows this, but just you talking, showing some personality, you tell a funny story, or again, like, those one man, one person skits that you see on TikTok all the time. Doing one of those kind of checks the box. Oh shit, this guy's funny. The delivery of your voice, the confidence in your voice goes well. And that's how you can get a lot of girls' attention. But I wanted to talk about, because Walter mentioned the word vibe, to kind of talk about that, just what we mean in general and Walter's vibe.
and
If
can I mention as well, just about
Sure.
vibe? You'd be surprised, right? Your looks and vibe are totally separate. So let me explain. You can meet a girl in person, right? You're not her type at all. And you're not trying to force it at all either. You're just like talking to her, conversation, you ask questions about her, and you're being cool, right? You're being a cool guy that's definitely making a point that you want to be with her in a certain way, which is sexually, but you're not forcing it, right? And over that period of time of conversation, maybe checking out multiple spots, you're escalating sexually, you become her type. Not because of your looks, it's because the vibe was created in that time space. So when someone says, "Oh, looks are the most important thing ever," guys, I'll tell you this right now. I've seen it. Casey's seen it. We've all seen it. You've seen a beautiful girl with the most hideous guy possible. You're like, wait,
You what?
you're with this guy. What? How is this even possible? It's because he's created an environment where his lifestyle and his vibe, so to speak, which is basically nothing more than just him creating a cool environment for the chick, is possible because either he's made money, he's worked on himself, he's made connections, and as well, his looks didn't play a part in this at all. So the vibe itself, I just explained to you, is nothing more than the environment you create in that time period for a woman for her to say, you know what, this guy isn't my type, but he sure knows how to make me feel good. That's all it is. Them feeling good in that time space. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say about your type, your vibe. Walter has this amazing ability to make women feel good, and even guys too. I've never seen anything like it. Walter, I remember I was telling you, I don't know if I ever showed you this, but for anybody who's a Rick and Morty fan, with the episode where they go to the alien spawn, it sucks out the toxic parts of their personality. So
Yeah.
long story short, there's this cartoon, they go to this alien spot, it sucks out anything that they deem as like toxic. So if they have like they're too desperate, or they suffer from depression, or they suffer from anxiety, or they have I don't know, some mental issue, it like removes that from them. And then when Morty, the guy in the cartoon, gets all those toxic parts removed, he's just walking around, he's just high on life. He has no more, like I said, yeah, confidence issues, nothing holding him back. And Walter had that same vibe. Like I literally like, Walter can multitask. So he could be playing like, I don't know, Super Smash Brothers with one, can and the other on the phone. He's like doing like an audio with the girl. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure you could do anything you put your mind to. Really? You think so? Yeah. I mean, you're super smart, and like, yeah. I just,
Funny.
I think, you got this. It's a really good idea for your little swimsuit store. I think it will work. You just gotta market it well. And the girl is just like, oh my god, like I couldn't do that with a straight face. I couldn't do that genuinely. But the girls on the other side, like, he believes in me. Like, oh my god, my dad never believed in me, but he does. And it's just like, I don't know. And then like networking, like if we're ever driving, and I live with Walter since way before the fame and the fortune, and back when he was living, damn near paycheck to paycheck. If there was ever, a wealthy guy that he wanted to be, a guy pulled up in a Lamborghini or whatever it was, Walter had no problem. Hey man, just curious, what do you do? Just nice car, man. And there's just something about him and his vibe that, women, guys, everybody just wants to warm up and be around them. But, mind you, taking it back to the whole point of this, if Walter was obese, unkempt, I don't know, super, grotesquely ugly, this wouldn't, matter for him. So again, let's get back to brass tacks. We're supposed to be talking, about like the look stuff, but vibe is important, as well. And it's something that I think a lot of these, black pill, incels, even if they were just, granted by a wizard good looks, if they don't have the vibe and the other things and an overall strategy and Instagram to attract them, then yeah, they'd still be lost.
So let's just recap for the guys real quick on looks itself. Let's go through 3 main steps to have looks on a scale that's presentable to go on a date with a girl. So I'll start first. I think, like, for example, with the current marketplace, you have to be somewhat palatable to look at, which means, like you said before, have the body type where you're not obese, you're not overly like muscular, but you're, simply like in a good space. Like you showed a picture earlier of you with your shirt off, right? It's
Mhm.
not too muscular, it's just enough where like it's the archetype of what women prefer. Slim, not too chubby, and in shape, so to speak, right? Kind of like Myron's look and your look as well. That's one thing. Two, I would say is, again, remember, guys, it's not about looks, because looks will play a part at the very beginning, maybe just initially, but over time, the vibe is what's important to maintain things anyway. So what I would say is make sure that you're not weird or you have tics. And what does that mean? If you realize, right, if you're a cold approach, right,
Tourette's.
people literally will show you in real time how they see you, either by how they respond to you, how they react to you, or how they treat you, which means your interaction with somebody is based off of what they see in front of them in the moment. So if you're getting rejected constantly, like how I was back in the day, you have an issue. You need to fix it. And it's because either you're worried about how you talk to people, you're not coherent, or you just don't have that, like, I want to say, good hygiene. Because, yo, guys, I don't forget this. I was at the club, right? I'm with some girls. Her and her friends, they flew into town to come see me, right? And we're having a good time. I kid you not. My friend pulled up, right? And he's like, bro, who's these baddies? Like, yo, they came into town, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You'll go talk to her friend, right? So then he goes to talk to her friend. All of a sudden, I'm just seeing her friend come next to me, and I'm like, wait, why she move away from him? Right? Like what's going on? Then the girl I'm talking to was like, yeah, my friend isn't like your friend. I'm like, what? He's 6'1", he's in shape. Like, what's going on? Like, this the homie. I won't say who it is, by the way. And then she's like, oh, his breath stinks.
Mhm.
I'm just like, are you kidding me? But that small detail of your breath stanking and you're 6'1", by the way, could cause you to lose that interaction. So when it comes to like looks, yes, looks plays a part, 100%, height as well. But for you to actually make that actually happen, the full interaction with a woman, if you're not on point with hygiene, your appearance up front, which is number one, I said. So number two is hygiene. Those two things right there have to be on point. If they're not,
Yeah.
sorry to say, you're getting rejected either in person or in real time when you talk to her for the first time, regardless of the facts. And sometimes girls will play the part where they'll string you along and say, "Oh, yeah, you're cool, whatever," and then be like, "Yeah," and it's fine. Like, dude, in the first 5 minutes, a girl will know if she's gonna smash you or not. It's up to you to either ruin that moment or make it more concrete. But
Mhm.
number three is going to be the last point here. And Kiss, you want to chime in on this one, or you want me to give you number three?
You go. Give me number 3.
So I mentioned looks, having a archetype where you're not too chubby, you're in some type of shape, not actually too muscular. You're just like medium, slim, but in shape. Two is going to be hygiene, how you smell, body odor, your breath, very important. And if you can, smell is paramount. You need white teeth as much as possible. And some of you, I know you don't brush your teeth. You need to brush your teeth, bro, and get white crest. Actually, you know what? I need white crest too, by the way. So there you go. And you can help on that too as well. Number three is going to be actually the vibe, which is the vibe, like I mentioned before. And just to keep it short and sweet, all it is nothing more than you saying to yourself, okay, it's not about the money, it's not about looks. Remain humble and say, okay, I'm here to have a good time. She is too. Let me create an environment. We'll both have a good time. And you'd be surprised. Having that mindset where you're not forcing it or trying to, oh yeah, I need to smash, or I need to like be with this girl, creates a chill environment where you have an open mindset to say, okay, I'm gonna go where I want to go. She's a plus one. Let's have a good time. And granted, this whole interaction is you getting to know her better, either to smash or keep it long term. Because I'll tell you this right now, guys, you need to know what you want, like from the jump. Because
Yeah.
if you're coming into it blind, like, oh, I'm just gonna wing it, well, you don't know what she wants. You don't know if she's even gonna be good for you at the end of the day. So again, the looks thing, yes, it is a looks to an extent, but it's a layer of things you
Yeah.
need to do to even get the shot to be in that environment to make things happen. Because those two things there, if you don't have that on point, guys, you can have all the money in the world. You could be a fucking Chad Tyrone, bro. Those 3 points are not on point. You're gonna lose her 100%. Just saying.
Agreed. And we can talk. I want to talk about how attraction works for women and why it's different for men. And we'll talk about the point system in a second. But first, I wanted to address this. I guess I can't. I was trying to click it to full screen, but whatever. This guy Shadow says, workout, as in like the guy should work out, do skincare, dress well, get a better haircut, grooming, the same advice we hear every day. Cope. All right, listen, Shadow. Thank you for pointing that out. This isn't a Luke's maxing masterclass. I don't think I'm fully qualified. I got the hair transplant, teeth whitening is next. You guys saw, what I look like with my shirt off of. With my shirt off, I grew a beard. I think there's only so much you can get after. Looks are so important up to getting to a 5 and a 6. Now you might say, well, cool. If you're a 5 or 6, how can a girl that's an 8 or 9? This is where you have to understand that attraction works differently for women. Their looks is way further down on their list. At that point, it comes into strategy. Now, in your overall strategy here, just to wrap up, well, I already showed on my screen. I was showing those high status photos. Once you create this high status social media profile, the next step is to get that profile in front of as many women as possible. To go back to my analogy for making a job on getting a job using LinkedIn, you would want to create this amazing resume. If your resume says you worked as an intern for 6 months at a small web design agency in Uzbekistan, no one's going to give a fuck about your resume. No matter how many people you show the resume to, you're not going to get a job at Google, Microsoft, or OpenAI. But if your resume is the high status resume, we're making an analogy from like, a good, sexy, attractive Instagram to a tech resume, it would say, yeah, you worked at Google, you were lead project manager at Microsoft, has all these good things in your resume. Then you can hire a virtual assistant and tell them, look, I want you to go on LinkedIn, track down, the HR director at, I don't know, whatever a hot tech company is, track down the recruiting agency at this company, track down, Meta, whatever, exactly. Track down these people and then put it in, because here's the thing, even if you are objectively a 6 or a 7, you guys got to take into account type. Okay, so this is where the whole thing we've talked about. The same old advice: skincare routine, workout, fashion, get some little things fixed, grooming, whatever. Now you're a 5 or 6 out of 10. Now your strategy. We talked about putting your profile in front of as many women as possible. We talked about making it appear as high status as possible. Now let's take into account type. Okay, you guys could imagine hypothetically, there's a guy, big, mean, ugly guy. He's 6'4", he's jacked, he's hairy, he's got huge muscles, but he's even a little bit chubby. He's got tattoos, and he just looks mean and scary. That's not going to be attractive to most women. I promise you, some women are going to look at that guy and go, daddy, protector, take me, just throw me behind the alley and, have, what you want with me. There is a specific like archetype that you can appeal to. Some girls like the witty, sarcastic guy. Some guys like the thug. Some guys like, the nerdy guy that can teach them things. There's a lot of different niches that you can fill. So part of the overall strategy after you build the high status profile, let's be honest, most of you guys have no idea what you're doing, but we'll make a big announcement. There'll be a way that we can help with that in the future. And then the second thing is, just putting that profile in front of as many women as possible and understanding that the same way you ever like show a photo of a girl to your buddy. Oh, look at this new IG model that I found. He goes, mid. I don't like her. You're like, what the fuck? She's like a 10. And your buddy goes, nah, 6.5 at best. And then vice versa. Some of your boys argue, no, it's only blonde, skinny. She has to be Scandinavian. She has to have her cheekbones up to here. Those like, those girls, like, I can't do it, but like the Norwegian face. Some guys only like that. And Walter are the same. A big booty Latina that's young, long hair, big eyes, great skin, and she's got punch. She can take it. And then heaven forbid, she's eaten, one too many cheeseburgers. She's just a little, not fat, but she's just a little bit chubby. As if we care. As if we give a fuck. But to some guys are like, no, she's fat. Right? I don't give a fuck if a girl's just a little bit chubby, but she's beautiful face, good skin, nice teeth, long hair, Latina, brown skin. So this is where, like, actually, someone put in the chat, Scandinavian females with a barf face. Benjamin Nguyen put that.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yo, real quick, shout out to MDZ. He says, fresh on Fed Reacts, LOL, that's different. Well, this is in Myron studio, actually. I'm in Fed React studio. My studio is going to be finished, actually, today, because there's some camera issues, but it'll be fine next week when we do this again. And real quick, guys, we're going to leave YouTube and go to actually Twitch on Fresh and Fit. So, guys, on YouTube, on our channel, Fresh and Fit, we're going to leave this YouTube channel and go to twitch.com/Fresh and Fit podcast. And if you're on YouTube for Casey, you can stay there as well. But we're going to move over to Twitch right now on the platform. So, real quick, guys, how we're coming over to Twitch, and I'll see you guys there. But, Casey, continue.
Okay. You should have a link for them or something, or?
Yeah, the link is going to be in the chat right now. Boom.
Okay, cool. He's dropping the link for you guys. Okay, cool. Yeah, join on Twitch because I'm about to cook.
Oh, guys, by the way, we're going to be doing Instagram reviews and coaching on Castle Club in Zoom calls next week. So we're going to break down more game in detail because this is surface level, guys. This is nothing crazy. This is just the foundation, but there's so much you can learn. Guys, I've spent my entire career, actually, if you guys didn't realize, dating girls. And it's not because I need to, because I want to, because I want to experience every scenario of failing, simping, mastering, looks maxing, money. I've done everything you can think of to see all scenarios possible for the best solution to get either the smash or the girl. And I'll tell you this right now. Casey has resorted to leaving to other countries to experience as well. So he has the aspect of going abroad. I have the access of America. You got both ends of the stick here. So you can't lose in this endeavor. And as well, we're going to hold your hand step by step and teach you one-on-one how this works to get either laid, a girl, or if you just want to have fun, either way is fine. But we got you guys.
Awesome. So yeah, let's show them real quick. This will kind of again. So for all, so many people are saying, oh, this is cope and blah 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 blah, whatever. You guys have seen
Fresh is a super player. Listen, bro. I'll tell you this. You know what I am, bro? I'm a chameleon. I'm able to see and adapt to any situation. And listen, I know sometimes on the podcast, I don't act as smart as I should. it's on purpose. I really don't care about being that guy. I like being more chill behind the scenes. But when it comes to actually getting stuff done in real time, in real life, Casey knows I am that guy. I'm not gonna brag about it, but just some sauce there. But hey, guys, we'll leave you to YouTube right now. The link is in the chat. I'll see you guys in there on Twitch. Cool. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, so we're still gonna get a lot of weirdos in the chat that say, "Oh, this is cope, and keep coping, this and that." Bro, you guys have seen Walter's stats, or sorry, receipts in the U.S. You're seeing my receipts overseas. So, and back in the day, RSD, Tyler, Todd V dating, Dave Perota.